Recording beginning. Um, so yeah, here we have Seafoam Kevin. I don't actually know your last name. But yeah, Kevin, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Um, uh, so yeah, I'm Kevin Beck is my last name. Um, and yeah, I started a DIY space a few years ago called Seafoam. Um, I work at the Carnegie Library Pittsburgh in the music department, help manage their musical instrument lending library, and very occasional DJ.
Yeah, Swatch DJ. Yeah. I listen to your Seafoam Streams set like all the time. Yeah.
Uh, thank you. And yeah, Kevin Z have said that.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
good
cool.
like work music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Kevin said too. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. I was thinking, want to maybe do at least one more while I'm still using that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
that kind of vibe. So
Dude, yeah, like I can't believe how good the bass is. Like that sub is like awesome. Like I love how the walls and floor all rumble.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think sitting right above where the sub is on that stage is like the primo spot. No.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like right in front of it, but now I know that the tier one spot is to be on top of it.
hmm
When did Seafoam start, actually?
So we bought the space in beginning of 21, and yeah, there was kind of a waiting period because there were issues with the plumbing. So we had to wait on the former owner to like take care of that.
Hmm.
But it was never really in doubt. And we were really lucky to like find something at
Yeah.
that time, especially. And that house had been listed a bunch of times. Actually, Tommy, who's hosting
Oh
PS,
yeah.
Tommy, I mean, obviously lives around there and had mentioned that that place had been on and off the market, and had actually interest themselves in maybe making an offer,
Hmm.
seeing. I just can't believe that no one else like me would have like come along and seen the potential in it. But anyway, yeah, we got
Yeah.
it. We did our first, probably our first like real gig was forget the name now, but it was Sarah Sindler and Eva Conrad did
Mm.
a show. Um,
Like an art
and
show?
mhm,
Okay, cool.
yeah, I think it was like in house is what they called it.
Hmm.
Uh, but then they had some DJs play. Steph Alona played.
Yeah.
Um, Shane,
Hmm.
blanking on Shane's.
Kieran and Laveau.
Not that one. No. Um, yeah, Shane has played other ones, but oh no. Oh, you're thinking another Shane.
Oh,
No,
another Shane.
the God, he's gonna. I hope he doesn't watch this. The he makes like glitchy. Anyway, super nice dude. I mean, I love this guy. But anyway, he played. So right away, I mean, it was like community building, like for me to get to
Yeah.
know people. Um, and then the next big thing we did was a Jaded Collective show, and that was like crazy. Like uh, people lining up to get inside. It was
Mm.
like pretty rough down there at the time too, so we didn't have like the outward swinging doors. I think like,
They would like. Hmm.
and people just kept getting because it was so full inside.
Mm.
And Lexi Dobell played that
Mm.
show, so like got to meet her for the first time, and
Yeah.
that was one of Lexi's first like DJ gigs too,
Ah, cute.
apparently.
Yeah.
Um, so
Mm.
yeah, and then kind of transitioned more into music. Never did anything like big art shows like that again.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah,
What, because you have put like a lot of work into the space. Like, what was like the renovation process like, and like the design, or like putting the booth up in that like little alcove nest area?
That was there already. I mean,
Hmm.
structurally, it it looked pretty much how it does now. Just a lot of cosmetic work, um, and I'm very much a perfectionist. For better or worse. It certainly makes working on a house difficult at
I mean,
times.
like, I think the perfectionism really shows. Like, it is like impeccable, the space. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, as like hard of a time as I gave myself at times, for working on the space, I've gotten so many nice compliments from
Hmm.
folks, and it's nice that like that work, I mean, to some, shows through. So for
Yeah.
that, I'm really grateful.
Was that your first, was Seafoam like your first foray into like community building and hosting events, or like what is there like a precursor to Seafoam or like something before that?
Um, no, I mean, not not really.
What
I've
made
like
you
a,
start at the time
um,
that you did?
I don't know. I guess maybe just going to like DIY shows and
Hmm.
kind of being around scenes like that, like in Pittsburgh and Philly a bit when I went to school there.
Hmm.
Um, I lived in a space in Philly that was like a former DIY space, and it had a really nice basement. Like I would just like skateboard down there. Like it
Oh,
was
cool.
that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
jump up on stage. It was really cool. But yeah, I was the only one of my housemates that like was into that. And the lasting legacy of the space, I thought this was so sad. It was our like Wi-Fi password or our network name. I'm like, you know, I thought about it was like a service year that we did with like a fellowship, but when everyone went away for the holidays, I really wanted to like contact the people that were involved before and just throw like a massive party.
Hmm.
While
Yeah.
everyone was gone. I didn't get a chance to do that. But anyway, but yeah, I don't know, like just wanted to be like involved in like the scene somehow. I mean,
Yeah.
being inspired by stuff that like I don't know, like the Collision crew were doing, like Dana
Hmm.
even before like Collision doing stuff at
Hmm.
House in Oakland, hosting shows at like Rock Room,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I when we first toured the house, I immediately just thought, oh, that's like a DJ booth. I didn't say it to
Yeah.
my partner. I mean, not that she would have really opposed that. Supportive,
Hmm.
but I was just yeah, and then yeah, like had to have it, and it worked out.
Yeah. Can you tell me like also the history of Seafoam Streams? Like when did that start during pandemic, during the streaming era, or like when did that start?
Yeah. I mean, I so I'll just be honest. I've never been that into like the streaming. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I think for me, I just saw the space and I was like, oh, this is really photogenic, and
Mhm.
I can set up lights in here and I can like make it look pretty good. And I am definitely not a good candidate to like run a streaming platform because I mean, I'm just not consistent enough. I'm very much like, not that like I have like a whole lot of work to show for it, but I'm very much like kind of like a manic artistic type where like
Mhm.
it's like a flurry of
It
activity
comes,
and,
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like not great for, doing like consistent programming, which is like you need to do that with the streaming. Not, that even if I had that like kind of personality. Not that I would be so much into like the numbers and
Yeah.
gaming or whatever, but it is important even for your viewers that you like have something, just for people to like engage. Like with a lot of things, you need to be doing it long enough for it to kind of catch on with folks.
Yeah.
Um, so people that do that stuff and can do it regularly and like, quality, I have like the
Yeah.
respect for them. I
I'm
just
like, I have no idea how people run stuff that's like 24 hours,
yeah.
24/7. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
video
you
or
need to like delegate a lot and like have like people take shifts and stuff.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I think it would have helped if I never really found I've had people certainly help me out, like
Hmm.
work on the space, but I never had someone that was like really involved with me in like any of the stuff I did and
Yeah.
the streaming. But yeah, by the way, I as like an interviewee, I just go on all these tangents so you can like
Okay, I
uh
can interject.
yeah, as much as you
Okay.
want. But going back to yeah, I'll try to like answer this question like cohesively as much as I can.
Hmm.
I I just, I wanted to try it out. I felt like, there wasn't anything like that in Pittsburgh at the time. And the cameras I used, I was like, oh, these are like have the potential to be really good. Didn't, I didn't even see really people online streaming with them, like doing the multiple views. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you can do that. And at times it worked really well. It's just that, it was like full of like technical difficulties
Hmm.
and but I kind of want to revisit them now because I feel like I would have kind of a much greater appreciation at the time. I was
What
just
were
on the
the
track.
technical like the main learnings or like hiccups that you ran into and how did you solve them?
It
Or
was
like
always just connection issues
okay.
with,
Like Wi-Fi?
yeah, um, or no, it'd be more like Bluetooth that they
Hmm.
connect and they have to like communicate with one another. And then the thing with those cameras, it's the Logic or Logitech Mevos,
Okay.
but they have to run on your phone. You can't run
Yeah.
them on your computer exclusively. Like you could do your phone and then have them go to your computer and then
Yeah.
run like OBS or whatever. But um,
Yeah, because when we came with Marco and Marco did the stream, I was like really surprised that it was all running through your phone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the best would be if you could get like a dedicated um, iPad or like tablet
Mm,
and get like a data plan for it. Because actually, I ended up finding like data was more reliable a lot of times than like Wi-Fi
mm.
signals were. Um,
Okay. What about have you tried like like Ethernet, like hardwiring it?
you could do that, but um, I could have easily like fished a cable like going upstairs to my router. I
Yeah.
just kind of too lazy for that. And then the box, like the converter box that you needed for this camera is like kind of expensive. It's like $150 or something. You probably could have gotten something that was like um, an off-brand for
Hmm.
much less, I'm sure, because I don't think there's anything like unique about their like converter box. But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, because like the Swatch DJ stream, it's like mostly like ambient. Is that what you prefer to play? Or like what you prefer to listen to?
um, I don't know why I never like thought of this in my head before, but I kind of realized like, oh, I'm into like kind of ASMR techno.
Yeah, me
Or
too, me
like,
too. I love like the binaural like pan also. Like when
yeah.
it's good left to right. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, for me, it's like I don't know. I really need to work on my like articulation of music, especially because for my job I'm gonna have to write about music eventually.
Mm,
But uh, I don't know if you know like Jay Albert,
no.
Brooklyn producer. Like they make this like really subtle, um, like very subtly mixed. Um, I would say like ASMR techno, like this, um, so ambient, like you can barely hear the
Mm,
drum components, but
mm,
I don't know. I love that stuff. That's like
yeah.
just your candy to me. But I feel like that mix, there's like a good bit of that on there. Trying to think of like any tracks that come to mind. There's a track that a vinyl rip that I lost that I might have to rip again. This DJ Matt track that
Mm,
I feel like I've never heard that played out or even like on
mm,
someone's like uh mix or anything. That
yeah.
that track like that's like the kind of like most dancey one.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I love drone. Like
Mm.
I think that's why I love Dana's music. Like there's always like a drone
Yeah.
component, and then I saw like part of my journey was like I went to a Cleaner Tapes noise show at Babber House, and that was like my first noise show and first house show. And then I went to the Collision like death anniversary show at Diamond Beach, and yeah, that was like crazy. Like, yeah, Dano's set was like amazing. And then I checked out his Bandcamp and then I saw Bedload, which is like his drone project. And I really like, if you read like the album notes for that, it says like best enjoyed like lying down in the dark, nudity optional. So I really want to like host a show that is just that. Like everybody lie on the
Have
floor.
it be nudity
Yeah.
optional.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember, I mean, Dana could correct me on this, but the first, I feel like it was under non-site. It was at Brillo Box. Um, Maybe it was actually, I'm forgetting his other project name too.
There's cloning, two sons.
Maybe it was the cloning show
Uh-huh.
actually, but it was just droning synth.
Yeah.
I just remember being mesmerized by that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and it was him, and then it was this person, Nick from Florida. I'm gonna butcher like pronouncing the name, but Ortro Askey.
Mm.
They had a release on Dark Entries maybe like a year ago. Like uber talented, like 80s like new wave leaning, like very like it's like right up the. I don't know if you've listened to Dark Entries, their stuff.
Mm-mm.
They do like reissues of 80s stuff, and then they'll do like people who are like kind of into the revival wave.
Yeah.
I know Jellyfish hosted the label head like within the past like year or two. That was one I was like really kicking myself for not being able to go. But anyway, just thinking about who else was on
Cool.
that bill that night with Dana. But yeah, and then after that was, I feel like, a non-site show, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh wow, this is like, you know, proto techno. I didn't know like,
Mm.
would lean into that. Not that I knew them then. I don't know them that well now, but thought it was an interesting direction after listening to um, White Suns, their band,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
knowing
yeah.
them mostly from that. That's such a big following.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, like Pittsburgh has so much great talent. Like it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people that like are so acclaimed, like really like internationally. Like yeah, I mean the White Sun stuff. That's like that has such a lore to it. Like when I realized like Dana was from them, I'm like, holy shit. Um, and or I don't know. I mean, a lot of the people I've gotten to know, and that's the nice thing about like hosting shows is like, um, you get to interact with people a little bit more than sometimes when you're just a spectator or just
Yeah.
like an audience member.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
You gotta tell them where the bathroom is.
yeah. Mhm.
What was your, have you, so you went to school in Philly and then you moved to Pittsburgh after?
Yeah, I stayed for a year in Philly, that like fellowship thing I mentioned, and
Mm.
then yeah, I moved back.
How's
Um,
like the DIY scene in Philly?
I really wasn't like that involved when I was there. It wasn't until like that year when I was like in West Philly that like I kind of went out to more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But just, I mean, a lot of basement shows, a lot of like DIY venues like popping up. As far as like electronic music, I feel like there wasn't quite as much, maybe commercially happening. I'm sure there was stuff going on that I had no clue about, but it was probably right around that time that like people like Pontiac Streeter, like Ula, were doing more shows, and I like left kind of right then. But if I'd stuck around, I'm sure I would have been really into like the scene that was kind of up and coming. I'm sure it was like
Mm-hmm.
already there when I was there. I just wasn't aware. But then like a lot of those people really started like blowing up, and
Mm.
some new venues popped up. Like one of them was called Lacquer. That was like on Gray's Ave. And I was talking to Paul the other night, and asking about the the area around there, that warehouse, and that's there's still people renting out those spaces, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool.
there's just so much space there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
Mm.
city 5 times as big as ours. I don't know about geographically, but like population wise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, not like Pittsburgh, it's like crazy geography too. It's like, you can bike from like
Mm-hmm.
Philly to West Philly,
Yeah.
very bikeable city.
I think the hills in Pittsburgh are they can be a boon sometimes. Like when we were like trying to organize that cemetery show with
Mhm.
Davey, and then Davey scoping out the geography and being like, "Oh, there's a hill on this side, so then sound won't carry like across this hill, or it'll like stay within the bowl." Yeah.
Yeah, when you grow up from around here, like I remember I went to school in Cleveland briefly, but when you go somewhere flatter, it's like I don't know, it just felt weird to me. It was funny. Were you working on any tracks today or with your equipment?
Oh, dude, I bought a Juno. I bought a Juno X from other Kevin, Scobie Kevin, and I plugged in the power
Oh,
cord
okay.
today because it was missing a power cord. It was like an IEC cable.
Uh,
Um, and then yeah, I really want to learn on piano. Um, what is it? There's like it's a James Blake song and it's like really stripped down. It's just like his vocals and piano, and I want to like first learn a cover of it and then like use that as a stepping off point or a jumping off point to like add like things on the oct track on top of that. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the song. Is it like a complex melody or
It's pretty it's actually I sent like a video of it to Scobie Kevin and then he was like and I asked him if it would be like hard to learn as a first song and he said it wasn't it's very doable.
okay?
It's a Roberta Flack cover. Um
Oh, cool.
yeah. Yeah. I played it at um the Scobie ambient sleepover as the closing song to the 16 hours of music marathon, and that was the closing song.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. It's like very angelic and kind of haunting. Yeah,
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
yeah. Are you working on anything?
Um, yeah, so I'm at my parents' house right now. I was house sitting for them,
Hmm.
and I just brought like all my gear over and had it on their kitchen table.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to like get one kind of thing, even if I don't release it, but just like one completed track out of my stay here. But I feel like
Do you
I
release your music?
I have one thing right now
Okay.
current
On
as like
Bandcamp?
yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely like headphone music, but it was like my attempt my first attempt at making something with my granular synthesizer that doesn't sound like a granular
Hmm.
synthesizer, which can be
What
done,
does
but it
granular mean?
so try to give the best explanation I can. The way I think of it, it's like conventional samplers. You can set where like the start point is.
Yep.
Like on your Octatrack,
Hmm.
it has like that parameter for like start,
Start.
end,
Yep.
loop, and all that.
Hmm.
But well, the Octatrack for one, that's a monophonic sampler, so you can't play chords, with those samples
Hmm.
with the audio track like samplers.
Hmm.
Um, but so not only is like our granular synthesizers, I mean, they can be polyphonic, like you can play, multiple voices, but then within like say one node press, you can have the sample play at multiple instances simultaneously.
Cool.
And I'm like working with my hands, but the one that I have, it has a really nice display, and
Mhm.
it like someone at the show that Kevin and I played
Mhm.
together, where I was kind of improvising off of Kevin's piano playing, and then Kevin's friend Matt was playing harp.
Oh, Matt Turncheck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, God, that was crazy. I feel like it took me a little bit to like kind of realize we did that. That was just so ambitious for me, just getting that gear. And
Mm.
by the end of it, I was just trying to kind of let them play. Because I mean,
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, when you're taking someone else's signal as input, like, how do you tread the line between like letting them have the show versus you, like, yeah. Because I've like especially with doing visuals, like I do liquids, and usually that feeds into someone else's setup, and sometimes I can get like muddied and lost.
mhm.
Um, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that was just so like on the fly. Uh, I don't know. There were moments there where I was like, "Oh, this is really working," and then others where I just literally did not have like the muscle memory to like act on things I would hear because I was using my sampler as like a send effect. But then, if I wanted to sample just one or the other, I'd have to like,
Hmm.
turn up the like send knob for like one channel or down for the other. So it's
Yep.
like you have to like do that.
Yeah.
And then you have to like do a few button presses on my sampler. Uh, and at the time too, I just wasn't that like familiar with like sonically how it sounds, like how the filters like
Mm-hmm.
the sweet spots for them, like when to use the resonance on it. But yeah, I don't know. Kevin and I are gonna meet again soon, and I have like a lot more like prepared samples I can play in conjunction with what Kevin would be playing.
Hmm.
And this is like very much exploratory for me because I have always just done music solo. I've never like
Hmm.
really collaborated much with anyone, but
Hmm.
I feel like Kevin and I have like a lot of similar sensibilities.
Yep.
I just really like being around Kevin, like such
Yeah,
a like.
he's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think Scobie would not have existed if not for the fact that Kevin just happened to have two PAs and a subwoofer, like in the
okay.
basement. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was teaching me piano for a while, and I think he's just like an like such a like wealth of resources when it comes to any musical knowledge and music theory. Yeah. Yeah, it's like crazy. Like I bought a saxophone and then Kevin just picked it up and then was like improving off of it. And like, yeah, it's cool seeing like how quickly he like picks up things. And also I wanted to ask you like what your process of like learning a new piece of gear is like. Um, yeah.
um, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on like the gear.
Hmm.
Like I got recently. There's this Japanese. It's like very boutique. It's called Home Bake Instruments,
Hmm.
but they make these tiny little boxes, and I mean they are a little bit more limited in what they can do, but I don't know. That came like really naturally. Where I mean, it's probably because it's limited in like the amount of like parameters it has, but it's this like a little wavetable synth,
Hmm.
but it's just like really glassy sounding drone synth.
Hmm.
Um, I'd like to kind of do a live performance. So I have an idea actually. I want to like maybe do a live performance or a few with it, maybe record something, and then um, if I were to like sell anything, like maybe try to like put a tape out, and then if any money I make from the tape could go to like just like paying myself back a bit, and then I would donate it to the library because I think it would be like a
Mm.
perfect addition for that collection.
Hmm.
Sorry to again
Wait,
doing
it was is a home-baked wavetable synth?
yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, that was like came pretty quickly. The granular synth I've been talking about, that's like I don't know. So I had the first generation of it, and that actually came pretty quickly. I mean, that was more limited in its parameters. It only had two LFOs per voice,
Hmm.
um, limited like effect slots. I didn't even really use the effects much on it. Um, but this one is like, it's just this workstation where you have like four effect slots, this huge like mod matrix. They like really revamped their granular engine where uh, they have a new mode, which is I really appreciate this. I feel like a lot of the people that get into granular, it's like good for like really glitchy. experimental stuff. It also can be really good for like ambient stuff,
Mhm.
but they have a new mode where like the grains don't overlap because when you get that, you'll get like this like kind of chorusing, aliasing sound.
Okay, yeah.
Um, it sounds like really digital. I mean, again, some people would be really into that. For me, it's like I want it to sound as like organic and non-granular as possible.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, when you're working on like a track, like how does it start and middle and end? Like do you just start with experimentation and then you like find something that's cool and then continue?
yeah, it's usually just like one thing that's like inspiring and
Mhm.
like you know, building off of that.
Mhm.
But to me it's like, you know, I'll always just be making like minimal compositions and you know, I mean a lot of the stuff I like is just like
Mhm.
that. But I think uh, you know, as long as like all the components are like have something to them, it's just sort of a puzzle of like getting them to all harmonize. But
Mhm.
um, yeah, I mean, it could start for me like with the pad, with like a random like weird drum sound from my drum machine.
Mhm.
Again, if it just has like some kind of like going back to like the ASMR stuff,
Yeah.
if it's kind of soothing or
Mhm.
just has this like weird, uh, comforting quality. I don't know,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's like always. I mean, and I don't have a lot of work to show for you know uh, what I do make. You know, it's always been like difficult for me to
Release.
finish work. Yeah,
Okay.
and all
Yeah.
that.
Mm. At what point do you like stop or like get stuck or like the unfinished tracks, like what more do they need?
You know, like looking back, there's stuff that like I was going through an old hard drive, and it's like I'm thinking now, like, man, this was not bad. Like, you know, I like again, I touched on this talking about like the house and being a perfectionist, but you know, I don't know if other people can like. I'm sure you know someone listening or like you know just in general people could relate. Like, you can be like your own worst enemy with stuff, and
Hmm.
you know it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've just maybe gotten a little bit more like patient with myself, and then kind of realizing too, it's like you know there is a sort of like mental cycle of like you know you need to like kind of recognize when it's time to like step away and then
Hmm.
also like to retain the like enthusiasm for it. I mean there's
Yeah.
stuff in the past where I just like brute force was like trying to get it to work and maybe if I had just given it like a few days here or there I wouldn't have like burnt out on them.
Hmm. What are the signs you need to step away? Is it like frustration or like being tired,
I feel like
exhaustion?
it's like even before that, you know, it's like just like kind of knowing like and also it's just like maybe just like really like trying to have fun with it. I don't know
Hmm.
what it is, but maybe it's like in a way like working a full-time job like one gig
Hmm.
has like savor my free time more, but it's like I'm just like not willing to like put myself through like hell like I did in the past. And it's
Hmm.
like, you know, I'm just trying to like have fun like
Hmm.
if whether I finish something from this week, you know, or I had my gear out or not, it's like, you know, not to sound too like melodramatic saying this, but you know, it's like it's about like the creative like process too, and like
Right.
that experience of making stuff. You know,
Yep.
and if I don't make anything to show for it this week, it's like you know I like experienced like you know these moments of like bliss making these sounds, and you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, and I think like it's like it comes out in the music. Like, 'cause I'm like, if you're having fun making the music, people are gonna
yeah,
have fun listening to it.
totally.
Um,
You know,
yeah.
it's true with DJing. I mean, it's true with like anything, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I always think it's so interesting how like music that's so like minimal or um could just show that so much, you know.
Yeah. No, I love like one of my favorite genres is like minimal techno because I just I love like I realized like I'm the most hype at a show during the breaks in songs because
Mhm.
it's just like so stripped down and it's like so minimal and it's exactly what it needs and nothing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally that way too. I'm the person like in the crowd who's like still like moving, like
hmm
they never took out like the kick or something. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just yeah, I love that stuff.
hmm What do you think of like the future of the Pittsburgh scene or the direction in which it's like or its trajectory?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I probably am not quite like tapped in enough to like really comment.
hmm
I guess I'll say like obviously we're like lacking like a dedicated space like we've had in the recent past, like
Yep.
Collision or Certain Death.
Yep.
I mean, there's certainly like really great. I don't want to like say it pejoratively, but like commercial, like more conventional spaces.
hmm
But just personally, I know you certainly are like very passionate for like DIY spaces.
hmm
I don't know. I've seen so much music at them that I feel like might not have been viable at other
Yep.
spaces, and like just from like the experience of running one too, it just I feel like that bleeds through of like you don't have to book based on like
hmm
necessarily what the turnout's going to be. I mean, of course, even like people doing DIY stuff, like I'm very like was very just blessed to have like a space that of my own. I didn't have to like pay off like rent or anything. I mean, a
hmm
lot of people have those needs, but just there's less in general, less need to like yeah, like curate or not curate, but like insure, like have these like insurance that like you're gonna
Yeah.
bring it out.
Yeah, I think like once money gets into the equation, like the artistic purity is lost. Um, and then also I think like a lot of commercial venues, like they don't have good seating. And I'm like, a house always has good seating because a person has to like live there for 24 hours a day.
Mhm.
Whereas venues, you're only meant to be there for like 3 hours or like four. And yeah, usually there's not like accommodations for people who like want to sit down.
Yeah, I I guess I'm thinking I don't know. There are places that like get creative, and
hmm
I don't even think. I mean, I'm thinking of like the kiosk show on
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
I mean that felt very DIY, but they
hmm
have right there helping them. I don't know how consistently they're going to be able to throw stuff there. I don't really know the backstory on that space,
hmm
but yeah, I don't know. Going back to your question, I guess. I mean, there's a lot of like just exciting things. I don't know, like Fourth River happening. I was just thinking about
hmm
that's like
Yeah.
any city would be like so lucky to have an event series like that going on.
Yes. Yeah, I talked to Aaron Clark and Michael Moraine a couple days ago, and they're trying to do more like discussions and panels at the Hot Mess space, like daytime, like
Yeah,
not even shows, but like community things and like education, which yeah, is like really great.
yeah. I know spaces outside of Pittsburgh. Like I know nowadays does a lot,
Mm.
uh, like
hmm
community building there. I'm not at all like really familiar with like the New York scene, but that's just such a popular venue. Like,
hmm
and I've seen those events posted. Yeah, I think there's definitely like an interest for that here, and it's
Yeah.
just such a great resource, especially when like going back to we were saying there's so much talent in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and for young people especially that are like getting into the scene or might be like budding artists themselves, like it's just such a resource.
hmm
I feel like it's just like it shows a lot of like maturity and growth for like a scene in a city to
Yeah.
be hosted. like that.
Yeah, because I think like in order for something to be sustainable, you have to welcome newcomers and support them and mentor them so they can like carry the torch on.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still a lot of people like involved today who, were doing stuff in the 90s.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just, in general, I think it's like important to have those conversations with people that have been doing it
Yeah.
and to, in whatever way to kind of honor that. And
Hmm.
um,
Yeah. What what gear did you bring to your parents' house?
um, I have, I'm like looking at it right now. I, I can just like go grab something, I guess.
Hmm.
I didn't get to play my show at Bantha last Thursday, but I was
You
gonna
are
use
mega.
this. Yeah, I feel like the people that saw me like post something, like people in the know who like recognize like the gear, like I mean, I would not blame it. Like more excited to see this than me. I mean, it's certainly like doing way more of the work than I am.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this is still not that far off. It's only about a year from its like release. People are still in like waiting lists to get this, but
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I mean, I've like downsized my like gear quite a bit in order to like afford something like
Hmm.
this. But I feel like it just it has its own effects. I don't even have to like really use like send effects for it if I'm playing with it live.
Hmm.
It has like a really good digital reverb, which
Hmm.
I don't know if you've used the reverb much on your Octatrack. I was
I
never
have.
really a fan.
Okay. Hmm.
I, I guess for me, like, yeah, I don't know. It sounded like too digital. I don't, I might be like a little snobby about my reverbs for saying that. Just for
I guess like I don't really have a baseline to compare to, but I do really like how on the Octatrack there's like a size for the reverb and it's like this cube and then like it gets bigger. Like there's a little
Mhm.
visual of like how big the room is.
Oh wait, you have the first one.
Yeah, the MK1.
Okay,
Yeah, because
cool.
I've been taking music production lessons from Sequence Matt, Machine Listener, and they told me the buttons on the MK2 are like not as great. Like the
Yeah.
button. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, they're like very clicky on the MK2. Um, and I don't think the MK2 doesn't have that graphic either of like the
Mm.
reverb. I feel like newer gear is getting back to like I'm thinking there's another granular sampler similar to this. It's like a smaller form factor. It's called the Torso,
Mm.
but the design of it is like so sleek and the it has these like uh, kind of 8-bit graphics
Hmm.
for its like reverb and different effects, and it's just really like visually pleasing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's funny, like I've heard people be like, you're switching out a, I don't know, 15-inch computer screen to like this tiny little LCD
oh,
panel.
totally.
But it
Yeah, I
makes
say
such
that
a huge
all the
difference, like seeing the little like shitty 8-bit graphic. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you aren't looking at it as often.
Hmm.
Um, um, yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, sometimes it seems silly. Like I mean, this is like, um, yeah, I had to like sell a lot of gear to be able to afford this, but um, I don't know. I mean, as long as you can like, afford that stuff responsibly, not going into like too much debt. If it's something like you like, I mean, you should
Hmm.
do it.
Yeah.
I don't advocate for that,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's this, and then just play like Gear Show and Tell now.
Yeah. Show and tell.
I mean, I should really dust this off, but I have my drum machine, my alpha bass. So, Sequence Matt had one,
Okay.
but
Alpha
apparently
base.
Davis has it now,
Okay,
is what
sick.
Matt told me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Matt talked about like uh, how that was a difficult like parting, and conceded like it.
Oh, it was sold from Matt to Davis.
Mhm. Apparently, that's what Matt told me. But and then Matt did concede like it's the best sounding drum machine. It
Mm,
just um I probably use it in like this weird particular way that like doesn't mix well, and but I just like playing it so much.
yeah.
The filters on it, you can get like really like harsh, not harsh, you can get like very like colorful sounds, but then you can get just like these weird like subtle, like it just clicks a lot, or like I even like you can save it and then it just has this like you can still hear the rhythm, but it's like kind of this soft like clicky, and
Hmm.
sometimes I'll like fit that into a track where like I'll just save it as like a break, but
Hmm.
it has like a little bit of character. It just oozes with character,
Mm.
and yeah, I don't know. People like love and hate this brand,
What's the brand?
Joe Mox.
Joe Mox.
Yeah,
Mm.
the the owner is like um, just a very like colorful personality. I love like watching because he's just so enthusiastic,
Mm.
um, and yeah, he is very much like obsessed and a perfectionist with like these models. They don't come out with like a whole lot of different products, but yeah, some of the ones they have like um, the Sun is like one that's like you'll see it on Reverb for like 10 grand or something, and
Mm.
then
Hmm.
like Aphex Twin is like two, and but just like revered amongst like producers, and
Hmm. Yeah, it was cool. I went to Mass like I think 2 weeks ago and I saw JR2K, I think, or JR4K, from DC producer. They brought an Octatrack and it was cool seeing like the Octatrack like being used for a live set professionally,
Mhm.
like right after I got one. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you checked out any of God, who was I thinking of? Who's like really good? Gladstone.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
It's an
I
Octatrack?
yeah, Gladstone's like the virtuo. I mean, I've never
Okay.
seen someone like more proficient with it live.
Okay. Cool.
You, I think, would really like
Cool.
watching any clips of that.
Okay.
Um, that would have been sick to get them at the space to do like a live set.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so interesting, especially with like the overhead cam, to really like see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a part of PS now, so now I can also do more bookings, which is cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love how PS is always like at a house. Kind of out of necessity, but also it's part of the like the aesthetic or like yeah, the vibe of a PS show is like DIY cozy with food. Yeah.
Yeah, the last one was such a good time.
Hmm.
I got around to listening to Michael's live set, which is like
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
You know, so many moments where I'm like, you know, I want this like track.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that was a really nice one. I mean, especially to just discover where it was, because I'd always
Hmm.
heard space, and then it's like a minute away from my house, which is
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, when my cat went missing a few weeks ago, I was like almost in. I didn't
Mm,
like pass in his backyard, but I was like all around there looking for the
hmm.
cat.
Mm.
Uh,
How long
so
was the cat lost for?
not even like 24 hours.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but
My
yeah,
cat's like right here.
oh yeah, fun.
Oh, I also have a copy of this thing, the Dance Data Zine.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
PS has like a page in here.
Yeah, I saw.
And then
Yeah.
Gladstone is also in here. Um, page 59, I think. Yeah, this is the PS page. This background is from Ben's Liftgate's like video synth, and then there's like a little PS stamp. V always does the lettering, and then it's
Uh,
cool like how like right on the next page, or like in a couple pages, yeah. The Gladstone. It's, yeah, this record is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have that vinyl?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Oh,
I'm like, okay, we need like a record shop to like stock up with all this like dope
oh
shit
yeah,
that
we
Pittsburgh
should.
artists are like releasing.
Yeah, you should. I don't know if you want to like pitch your idea now, but yeah, I think this is really interesting, and I would totally support this.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because my studio space, it's like in this warehouse. It's like a 6 minute drive from Hot Mass, the new spot. And I think it'd make a great afters, like chill space, listening bar, records, and yeah. Yeah, because Pittsburgh is kind of missing like kind of like hi-fi, loungy afters type of stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely something like talking about the like maturity of like a scene or a city. It's that's something that obviously comes along after you've already like established like a dance scene,
Hmm.
and that something like that also requires like a lot of investment and
Yep.
um, but I mean I could see someone doing it. I think there would be enthusiasm for something like that.
Yeah, because there's Jerry's and there's Attic. They're like okay. Their selection is like solid. Um, but yeah, no like dedicated. Like there's this record shop in Seattle called Selectors.
Um,
It's run by this guy Sherman. Do you know Sherman?
Marcos told me.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sherman's a character. Sherman is just like, yeah, so into music. And he just like picks things that he likes and stocks them in his shop. Yeah.
yeah. I had thought about like my idea was maybe for Seafoam doing like pop-up events where if there was a release on a certain label, like buy up some copies
Hmm.
for a few things, and then you know not try to like stock up fully, but just have these releases that you would try to
Yeah.
sell these like pop-up events.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, that would have been I thought at least if you did it like just through events, even a space like mine that's not heavily trafficked, it's like can be difficult for people to get out there.
Hmm.
That could be debate.
Yeah.
So the space you're talking about, that's in the West End, or
Yeah, it's in the
it's
West End. Yeah.
how cool. How did you end up over there?
I just posted in some group that I was looking for a studio space. It's like this, there are 6 artists who all have studios or 5. Um, yeah, I think it's kind of like I feel like the West End is probably well just by the fact of like new hot mass spot and like these artist studios, like maybe and that's also where Sequence Matt lives.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, maybe this is like the place where like rent is like affordable and like there's enough space and like yeah, like more freedom to like just like do DIY stuff.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, in a way, I'm happy to hear that people are migrating out, like sort of my way. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
on the other side of the river,
Hmm.
but if only the West End Bridge had like kind of a better way to bike across, I would like. But I mean, it's still not difficult for me to get, obviously. And that's still so close to downtown too. It's like anywhere you live, obviously, people don't like crossing rivers or crossing
Hmm.
bridges, rivers, but
Hmm.
uh, yeah, that's not even like out there, like other places people have had to go to find
Yep.
spaces. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, and a lot of that space is like unused too. So it's not. I mean, I'm not that familiar um, with the
Yeah.
West, but I feel like that could be good. It's not like displacing. I don't think.
Yeah. Like I feel like that's kind of the reason why I love Pittsburgh is like there's so much like unused space and so much potential. I saw that Trust or like Pittsburgh Cultural Trust or like Trust Visual Arts is like this year they have an initiative to like re reuse or repurpose like more of Pittsburgh's like infrastructure and buildings for like the arts. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look into that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean. I know they're like involved with like Wood Street. I mean, that's been
Hmm.
like doing more things. I don't know
Yeah.
how much it has to do with the trust or like people involved with Wood Street,
Hmm.
but um, but yeah, I don't know. People seem to like really embrace that and come out to um, things like that.
Yeah. To to close things out, it's kind of maybe become a tradition to have like a quote for every interview. Do you have like a favorite quote that's impacted you, or do you have a quote of your own?
Oh man, you're really putting me on the spot. I feel like you were so good about like uh, asking me like what topics are off boundaries, like setting intention, and um,
Or did you was there like one particular like music piece or art piece or show or experience that was like the gateway drug for you?
um, hmm. I don't know. I guess so. I went to Making Time recently,
Hmm.
and I saw Brian Leeds like Quirk OS perform live, and ever since they had that album on Software and like were up and coming, like it was immediately hooked. Like so many people. But then I was thinking back, I'm like, oh, I saw them like DJ at this place Palisades that was in Brooklyn that's no longer there.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then because I was just looking for live footage of their live set because I don't think they really play out live that often. And then videos of that were coming up, and I was like, oh wait, like I was there, and I definitely even didn't appreciate it like a whole lot at the time, but I do think back on how these people I was like exposed to early on really like shaped my
Hmm.
tastes and like appreciation. I think we're just so inspiring. Sometimes it feels like it was so fortuitous, like the people I came across early on, but then it's like what they also like helped shape me, and I don't know, it kind of full
Yeah.
circle to like
Hmm.
see that person again. I was just like grateful that like I even made it in. It can
Yeah.
be a little challenging to
How
get to
is
the
it?
basis at Making Time.
Uh-huh. Could you say more on like how it impacted like your sound and taste?
Um,
Like in what dimensions?
I think like just like Brian and I don't want to say their name like I know them, but uh, they I was like reading up a little bit on like a bunch of the people I was going to see at Making Time, but they came out with an album last year. I didn't even know it made like RA's like album of the year.
Mm.
In my opinion, it wasn't like it was like very conventional. I feel like it didn't to me it didn't have like the wonder of some of his like past releases. I mean, it's still like great like tools and like tech house stuff,
Hmm.
but um, he talked about like there being so much like maximalist sound in like dance culture and how he wanted to bring back like, and I'm misquoting, but like a sensitivity and
Mm.
a word that I use a lot. I feel like I've already used it a lot in this interview is like subtlety,
Yeah.
and that's something about his sound that it's always like minimal productions, and at times he was labeled as like um, like the lo-fi house like rising star, or like
Mhm.
when he released his ambient album, um, that kind of coincided with like ambient sort of being appropriated as like chill, like these uh, playlists you'll see like
Yeah, yeah.
like ambient to like work to, and
Yep.
and I don't blame him for like probably getting such a bad taste in his mouth from like being associated with something like that, but it I mean, those like genre names, I mean, they might like, I don't know, to me, it never fit him. Like his sound might have been more lo-fi, but he was like a young guy making sounds and on his computer. And
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of these people at that time were like, um, were influenced by like, older like 90s house stuff we're trying to emulate that. And just with him, what always shone through is like his like sonic palette. Um, and to me, that's like what's always kind of defined producers is like the sounds they use.
Mm,
And he just has such a unique, like, again, palette that like you immediately know it's him from like all the work he's done, all the different monikers.
mhm,
Um, but I don't know, I just like related to that of
mhm,
like having such a, um, yeah, like being so passionate about like the sound design, but then
mm,
not feeling like I'm very much like a minimalist in my aesthetic that his whole style is appealing to me. But yeah, there is something maybe to wrap it up when we were talking about
mhm,
that through like these sounds that you can really, even these like minimal productions, you can like feel like what the producer was experiencing or like their joy, like it can be
mhm,
this. And I just always felt that way about
mm,
him.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think like the more I talk to musicians, a lot of them just listen to their own music. Um, because I think it like then evokes that feeling of like where they were like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, like when they were making that track and like yeah, how it's kind of like a self-soothing kind of mechanism. Um, yeah. And like as I've like been creating more, I'm kind of like falling more into that category. Where I'm like, oh, this is actually like really good. And then I listen to it and I'm like, oh, this is like really good to listen to. Like I'm just gonna keep listening to it. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that's awesome too that you're at that point. I mean,
Hmm.
it sometimes it takes a really long time to like, I mean, there are like so many memes out there touching on this of like, making music that like you actually like and want to make.
Hmm.
There's so much learning involved with like getting to that point. But
Yeah.
if you're already experiencing that, I don't know, it's like something that was really missing, I think, for me for a while when I was like busy and wasn't making music as much. Like I get so much joy out of doing this, like
Mhm.
more than I do doing construction or like few other things in my life. And
Mhm.
um, I did think of something, by the way, not a
Mm.
quote,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
well, I guess it could be a quote. So the ongoing event series I do for the library is the first Sunday of every month
Sunday.
for anyone that watches.
Okay, yeah, it's a plug.
Yeah, I'm not
First
always.
Sundays at the library.
Yeah, 1:30 to
Play
3.
with synthesizers.
Yeah. I don't know. There's like cool stuff coming there, and yeah, I
Dude,
uh
yeah, like I love synth libraries. Like I was part of this event at Synth Library Portland, and it's just I think their membership model is like 15 a month, and then you can just like check out anything. Like
that's
thousands
awesome.
of dollars. Yeah.
I'm gonna write. I had heard of. I feel like I've heard of that
They're
before.
super DIY. Like it's in this like abandoned mall and
Uh-huh.
like there's like this black fabric curtain instead of a door. Um yeah, it's called the Lloyd Center. It's like a weird space. Like it's like former capitalist, like consumerist, like bastion now repurposed with like all these weird little art things and music things. Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, um, God, I mean, there's so many things I'm grateful for at my job, but then, we are like the opposite of like DIY. So when I hear about stuff like that, a part of me is like very envious that people don't have to like abide by these like formalities and
Mm,
all the bureaucracy. But that's
yeah.
awesome. That
But I
that
mean, yeah, I think public art and music, all ages and DIY like go hand in hand with like increasing access. Yeah, and like the scrappiness of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
I also, okay, maybe last question. What's the history of Swatch, the name Swatch DJ? Is it Swatch the watch?
Yeah, it is. And then like I doubt anyone will ever like really ponder. I mean, that's flattering that like you asked. I don't know, like I feel like I like playing different stuff. I mean, I'll like get very honed in on particular things. Like a certain set will be like all sort of one thing, but then, I'll do like a lounge like house set, and then for Halloween, I always like doing like an '80s like kind of post punk thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the watches had so many different like
Yeah,
design
yeah.
influences, and it's like, uh, you can. Um, you can have all sorts of different. You can wear all kinds of Swatch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
for me, like my swatches are like the most kind of colorful thing that I will wear. Otherwise, I'm very like muted. Like someone once said that like normcore like was like originated from like someone dressing uh, in Pittsburgh in the '90s. I'm like I'll probably always be stuck in that. But yeah, my swatches give me a little bit of flair, I guess.
Yay. Yeah. Cool. Okay, well, thanks for talking.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Leah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. More documentation of the scene. More education and learning. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, see you. Happy Sunday.
Cool. Yeah, you too. See ya.
Bye.